Hell fucking yeah to that. Konnichiwa, bitches. Another Monday, your
Hey.
favorite day of the week. And you're gonna close it off with some deep dive shit. And oh my god, do I have a spicy one for you. But before we begin into that, let me welcome my beautiful panel and Lethal.
Aw.
Please give your hellos to Miss Christina
Hey.
Hey,
Hi,
hi,
Christina.
hi.
and also to Mr. Lethal.
I'm excited. I don't think I've
Hey.
ever been on a stream with Christina before.
Once
Oh,
before, only once.
Once?
It was a while back.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry in advance, and you're
Fine.
welcome in
It's fine.
advance.
and also we have Miss Krista.
Hi, it is me.
And
Fuck.
God
Whoa.
fucking damn it.
I'm sorry, I'll
Okay.
go now.
All
Okay.
right. So yeah, Krista decided to become a VTuber because why the fuck not?
Ivan's
And
jealous.
also we have Mr. Amos. Hey.
Yay! Hello.
Hey.
Yay.
Yay!
Yeah, what a fucking hype we have. Let me tell you, I wish I had this energy, but
That profile picture perfectly represents the energy.
yeah, Amos represent. Well, it kind of goes because we do have a very spicy topic today because Vice decided to slander the name of anime and manga altogether. We will get into that in a little bit. I wanted to first off address the chat. How you guys doing? How's everyone? I see that some of you already having like discussions and like some people are asking for oh, what should I watch, and people are like recommending stuff. I just want to say I think that is fucking fantastic. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, you guys, for being so um communal. Like we're a little degenerate family, so that's fantastic. Also, the coconut donated 149. So thank you
Nice.
so much, the coconut. You are super, 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 super appreciated.
What?
And Dire Wolf held the prince or hailed the prince or earth. How's horchata? Okay.
It's going well. Thank you very much. I know what that is. I know what that is. Oh, Ivan doesn't know.
What?
Um, I'm Spanish.
Hold up.
What?
Time.
I got accepted and everything.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Yeah. A week and a half ago, I got accepted in the Spanish community.
By whom? I wasn't contacted.
The collective, the Spanish collective.
What test did you have to pass?
Oh, I just yelled at a bunch of people and they let me in.
Sounds about right. Okay, yeah, that actually sounds
Yeah,
about
that
right.
checks out.
That
Mm.
checks out. Next thing you need to
Odale.
do. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, you pass. If it was that easy to get a green card, isn't it? But I'd be like, yeah, let me use my credit card. That is probably the widest thing you can say. But so guys, before we begin, I just want to give a quick little announcement. We are organizing something super, super, super exciting. What it is, you might be asking. Well, let me answer that for you. We are organizing a Weaves and Waifus Pokemon tournament. For any of you that didn't know, it all started with Miss Christina.
Whoop, whoop.
Miss Christina decided to live stream her gameplay of Pokemon Scarlet on her channel. For all of the mods, please drop Christina's link in the chat right now. It's an order. Do it, or 50 push-ups. And she was rocking the shit out of it and convinced me to get it. And it trickled down into now. Not only do I have it, not only does Christina have it, but also Krista is playing on Twitch.
Yeah.
She's live streaming her gameplay. Megan, it's also live streaming her gameplay on her channel.
Nice.
Lethal just got it as
Yeah.
well. Fear the Beardo also has it. To if I'm not mistaken, Amos is just like the god when it comes to that freaking game.
No, that's not true. But
Um,
I'm okay at it. But
Dude, every time I log into Twitter, it's like, hey, I caught a new shiny. And it's like, God.
Yeah, I've just been. I just got. Speaking of, I just evolved my Gimme Ghoul into Goldengo, so I got him now too.
No. Wow.
I
Yeah.
haven't played a Pokemon game since Emerald, and I have no idea what the fuck a Gimmickle is, but I am going to win this whole motherfucker. I've got this, man.
Honestly,
I
I
was the
believe
Pokemon
it.
Emerald Battle Frontier champion.
So,
Theodo talks so much shit, but he's got nothing.
well, there you go. And this is what I want. This is the competition that I want
Yeah.
because now
I'm John
you
Wick
guys.
in this motherfucker. People
I
keep
should
asking me
ask.
if I'm back to Pokemon.
Yeah, I should
I'm
ask.
back.
Are we doing? Is this tournament like battles and stuff, like
Yeah,
singles,
we're gonna.
doubles?
Yeah,
or-
we're
Oh my
gonna battle
gosh.
single
I think
battles.
singles and doubles. I think doubles.
I would like I'd be down for doubles.
I'm
For
down for
singles, I'd
both.
have to.
We'll do everything. What the
Both.
fuck? Who
Doubles
knows?
is where
Who
it's at,
cares?
man.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll do that, and you guys can watch us get to that point, train, go through the grind to get to that level, and eventually, if everything goes out the way I would expect it to, and we do have like a nice turnout and everything, we might invite you guys for not just a Weaves and Waifus team tournament, but a Weaves and Waifus community Pokemon tournament. That would be fucking insane.
Heck yeah.
But hey, it's up to you, the audience, to let us know whether you want that or not. And the way to let us know is by watching our videos, commenting, and subscribing, and all that shit. So, first off, subscribe to Miss Christina because she's the one that started it all. So, props to her. And also,
Thanks.
go to Krista's Twitch, to Emma's channel, Lethal, and obviously here. So, oh damn! Now I have to buy Pokemon. What a beautiful excuse, isn't it?
It's
So
actually
yes.
good timing because I was gonna start because I'm actually EV training my teams.
Oh, really?
Stop. Oh, you
Yeah,
guys
so,
die.
I was like, well, I'll probably start doing doubles and just uploading them on like another channel or something. But this is
There you
perfect
go.
timing. Yeah, it's perfect timing.
Nice.
So now you can see literally everyone building their teams and seeing all the information. I think it's fantastic. Whether you like it or not, we're doing it. So fuck it. And Vagabundo Devon, thank you so much for the 5 buckaroos. So thank you so much for all of that. And there was one comment at the beginning of this live stream that it was one person asking for recommendations. So I know we usually do this at the end of the stream, but before we jump into the spicy topic of today, I just want to ask real quick to the panel to give a recommendation if someone wanted something kind of slice of life, but also comedy. What would you recommend? Let's start from Krista, and then we'll forward.
Anime?
Yeah, this is kind of an anime channel, so I would say anime.
Sorry, we're on the topic of games. Oh yeah, so slice of life and comedy. Well, Spy Family. If you haven't checked it out, check that out. It's what I'm watching right now because if I dip my hands in all these other animes, I'm not going to get anywhere. So Spy Family right now.
Okay, Miss Christina, what would you recommend?
Interesting.
Brilliant.
Oh, dude, that is my favorite. Let
Oh
me
my
tell
god, I
you.
hate my life. I always do that. I have one that I watched recently that's really good, but also like falls under the romance category. And it is a Netflix one, but it's The Romantic Killer. Or
Oh.
Romance Killer. It's pretty new. It's really funny, and it actually gets a lot better towards the end. Like it takes a turn you don't expect, but it's just funny. It's about like not wanting romance, and like the perfect guys drop down in front of this girl, and she's like, "No, I don't want you. I don't want you. No." But all the like cliche cute things keep happening where she's like can't escape it. It's very funny. And the other one's weird. It's like a comedy slice of life, and it's a boy who goes to school. He's just a normal high schooler, but he's really freaking just cool. Everything he does is cool. I am Sakamoto or Sakamoto. It is so funny and like just overdone. I love it. It's so funny.
What about you, Lethal? What do you have to recommend?
I got two.
All right.
It's very left field. It's not so much. It's not at all a slice of life, but I piss myself laughing at. Jobless Reincarnation. I think that's one of the funniest shows I've seen in ages. And I get a lot of flack for this, but I like My Dress Up Darling.
Dude,
That
my
crap is
dress up darling
amazing.
is fucking bomb. Like it's fire. I love my dress up darling. It's so stupidly
Yeah,
mindless
it wasn't
fun.
supposed to get a new season. Like they literally said, we're putting out one season, that's it. But then everyone loved it so much, they're like, okay, we'll do another season, I guess. So you're not crazy.
I am
I-
so happy to hear this. Everyone makes fun of me when I say this.
I mean, they will, but we're with you,
I
honestly.
feel it's like ABBA. Everyone likes it, but no one wants to admit it.
Dude, that is
Mhm.
the best description of that. Yes. And I feel that the dark side growing on Amish. Is there something?
No, I'm actually glad no one mentioned this one. It's Kaguya-sama Love is War. That's a good one.
Heck yeah.
That's a really good one. I would highly recommend it. It's you got comedy, you got slice of life. It's animated really well. Essentially, the shtick is that you have these two high class students, more or less, that are trying to get the other one to admit that they love the other one first. So love is essentially war is the entire theme of it. All the characters are funny. And for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with the anime, but you guys might have seen the Chika dance, the Chika Fujiwara
yeah.
dance.
Oh, yeah,
that's where that
yeah.
came from. But it's very good. It's very funny, and even the narration is very very good as well. So
Oh, Ivan, I see
highly
you.
recommend it.
And honestly, Love is War, and this is, I mean, just saying, you can watch it on Japanese if you like to watch it.
I would recommend
dubbed.
it. I would recommend it on the Japanese ones because they do a
Mhm.
really good job at capturing like what you would expect the characters to react and sound like.
Mhm.
There's just a lot more emotion in the subs nowadays than there is for like some dubs. Some dubs are good, but some of them are just like you could tell that they don't know what the fuck they're saying. They're just saying it. You know what I mean? So
But
Yeah.
I have watched the dub of this one in English and Spanish because there's a specific episode where they rap. They
Yeah.
dedicate an
Oh my
entire
god, that
episode,
one's so funny.
and I wanted to see how they would handle it in dubs. And based on my little research that I did, both of them, they definitely had to change the lyrics to adapt and everything, but it was still super funny and very good. So this is one of those that, hey, yes, I would suggest that you watch it in sub because the jokes land better and the emotion is there. But also, if you're a dub person, I think you would still have a very, very, very good time with it. The ones I have two that I would recommend. The first one is one that I've been talking about quite a bit, which is More Than a Married Couple, but Not Lovers. And
I've seen that recommended on my
mm,
my timeline for some reason. I saw like a 2-minute clip and
because it's good.
I could see the appeal in it, I suppose.
Mhm.
But yeah, I could see that.
It's another kind of like slice of life rom-com type of thing where you have this school that wants to teach students how to function in society by being quote unquote married to other students. They have to learn how to budget, they have to learn how to do this,
Yeah.
and kind of like
How to adult,
how to adult.
right?
So obviously you have two people that like other people, but they happen to be paired together, and it's just the development of stories. But this is what I have to say about this series. I really like the fact that they kind of don't waste a lot of time into being expressive with their emotions. And usually you get a very one layer type of characters with especially rom-coms where you have just the trope of the shy girl, you have the trope of the shy guy, you have the trope of the obnoxious one. Here you have characters that have a kind of trope that you would be like, oh yeah, this is the sassy girl or whatever. But it doesn't take long before you get to see them in a very human light. They do show emotion. Like, hey, the guy is shy but also decisive. The girl is kind of like a firecracker but also vulnerable. So that's honestly what I would say. That's a good one. And another one that I would recommend that I recently watched is the actually I'm gonna say this one instead. Call of the Night. Call of the Night is a high
Hmm.
dive exclusive, and it's the story of a guy who's this teenager who cannot go to sleep. He can't. He's just like bored with life. That decides to just walk around at night, and at night, shit happens, like encountering a girl vampire that just let me be without going into spoilers because I don't really don't want to. It's a story about discovering yourself by discovering other people. It's fun and it's witty and I like it. So those are the slice of life romantic kind of comedies that we would recommend. So hopefully our suggestions reach out to you, and if you liked it, great, and if you don't, well, too bad. So with that said, are you guys ready to get into the spicy shit of today?
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right. So just FYI, I have not read this article. I have heard about it a lot, and I glanced at it. And I was like, "Yep, this is what it is." So we are going to go through the article together, and we're just gonna give our opinions because this is just onto what has been happening as of late, where we get to see some celebrities or some dumbass takes saying, "Hey, anime or manga should be canceled because it's satanic or evil or whatever the fuck." Sounds good?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lighthearted.
Yeah, this is definitely what we've been looking for. So here it is. This is the article from Vice, and why Japan can bring itself to ban sexual depictions of children in manga by Hanako Montgomery. The country banned child abuse images, but the same restrictions don't apply to pornographic manga and anime depicting children. Also, if you want a beanie, go for it. You can go. You can
It's
get
a
it.
vibe.
You can get a Temu.
It's a vibe.
So the comics feature young girls engage in explicit sexual acts, often with exaggerated body parts, but facial features that look like those of children. A growing number of countries have banned them, considering such depictions as exploitation of minors, even if they are fictitious. But in Japan, home to a thriving manga industry, including the pornographic kind, calls to outlaw these cartoons. Uh, Although these cartoons have been met with fierce resistance. So, just on that premise, what's your take?
Stupidity. Outright raw stupidity. I think this person's just looking for something to be mad about, and they work for Vice, so their life is fucking dog shit, and they have a quota to meet in order to be able to afford the cat food that they live off. So they just came up with the first thing that came into their mind, and this is what they went with.
God damn!
There you go.
Save something for the rest of us. God, fucking suck.
I have nothing now.
I
Uh,
think Maple said it all.
That was something. I mean, here's the thing. I do agree. I do agree with the fact that this seems like a clickbaity type of thing, right?
Mhm.
Where they are like, "Oh, well, we need to put something out," because correct me if I'm wrong. Vice is not doing really well right now. This
Have
is
they ever? I might be wrong.
Well,
Though. I don't remember a time
that-
when they were doing well.
That is true. But like for example, the one that I can think of, the one that I can think of, hold on. Is this anime. I don't know if any of you if any of you have seen it or knows about it, but this anime actually brought a lot of controversy
Boku no
because
Pico.
Boku no Pico. It brought a lot of controversy because they said that it was exactly what Vice is saying. The anime in question is here. It is. Add to stream. Usaki-chan wants to hang out.
Uh-huh.
So Usaki-chan wants to hang out is another romantic comedy. Speaking of which, where we see Usaki who has that body type, that face. And a lot of people on Twitter were like, that is an impossible body standard for women, and that is clearly done for sexual exploitation, yada, 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 yada. So, this is one of the examples that I can think of.
I call bullshit already. Because let me tell you, have you seen? No, you haven't seen me in person. Let me tell you about a small person with big boobs. It's me.
I'm listening.
Literally.
We're listening.
Literally, I'm the size of a child. I get mistaken for a child at work no matter how nice I dress. But let me tell you right now, you are offended by a woman having a body and being small. Screw you.
Oh, these people are weird right off the bat. So, like, okay, we're mad about a woman that looks younger than her age, but all the fucking flying dragons and demons from outer space is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is something that I always have into consideration. You have animated drawings of, and they stated in the anime sometimes that they are of age or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
But how about it? How about turning the eye to what's happening at home with like the beauty pageants of like little girls, like literally like 5-year-olds in beauty pageants? I
These
think
people are hypocritical as fuck. I mean, they're going at a whole other culture for what is cool over there as opposed to over where they are, right? How can you do that? You can't go up to another culture and say, oh, you should be more like us, and
Yeah,
then be
exactly.
surprised when they tell you to go fuck yourself, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and we're going to go after them. We're going to go after Japan because of how they draw fictional women in anime, but we're just going to ignore the Middle East where if a woman dressed like this, she gets her fucking head cut off.
Why are people so afraid of boobies, anyways? Why
That's
they
a
so
Because
mad?
these
very
people
good
don't
question.
get any. A lot of these articles are written by women that have been rejected by dudes their whole lives because they're annoying twats.
Like you get
damn.
all types of anime girls. Like doesn't matter, big boobies, little boobies. They're all embraced in different ways. Like they gotta complain someplace else. That
Yeah,
actually
like
matters.
honestly, let's talk about American culture and TV shows. Like there's stuff like where kids are in high school, like I'm thinking old school, like Secret Life of the American Teenager, and all this stuff coming out like, oh, but are they glorifying sex with when you're like 15? Because this girl had a baby at like 15 on the show. And so, of course, it's a bunch of high schoolers, aka underage kids, having sex on this show. And, it's like we didn't ban that. I mean, some parents were a little bit offended, but it's like all those actors and actresses like Shailene Woodley, all them, they're huge now. Miles Teller, huge people. And they all
Yeah.
started on a show like that. I'm like, how can you even look at someone else's culture when we do the same thing? But with real people, it's not a freaking cartoon. I'd rather it be a cartoon. It's
Yeah.
fake. It's not
Mhm.
real.
And how come they never, you never see this from being about males, right? Now, I would, if I could, I would want to look like Guts from Berserk. I mean, him at my age, holy shit, this motherfucker was a tank. I look nothing like him, right? Now, that is an unrealistic standard, but, it's not fucking real. It's make-believe. We're just trying to chill out and watch some anime. Why is everyone got to freak out about stuff?
And that's the thing too, is like, people like us, we would look at that and be like, motivation. Oh my gosh, I want to look like that person. And so you do things to kind of resemble that person, whether it's working out, getting a haircut, or clothes, whatever it may be. So some people, on one end where it's like us, where it's like, oh my gosh, motivation, I want to look like that. And then you have the other side that just hates on it just because.
And honestly, that's the thing that I mean, that's a question that you said that it just keeps revolving around my head. Why are people so afraid of? In this case, just why are people so afraid of bodies?
I got
And-
another one for you, Ivan.
All right.
If they're so offended by this, why do they keep watching it?
That's true. You remember what happened with Demon Slayer with Nezuko? They were upset that she spoiler alert, sorry for those who don't know, where she just got big in season 2, for when because she can go small, she go big, and when she got big, her clothes ripped, and we got to see her boobas, and people were like, "Oh, this is sexualizing Nezuko." It's like, no, dude, she just got big. Like, what do you want her to like? It's just so stupid, really, is what it is.
Thank you so much, the coconut. Get the pitchforks ready, people. Tonight we go to war with Vice.
Oh, I do want to give a shout out to 8-Bit Axel, who just gifted 5 memberships here on this channel. So thank you, 8-Bit
Ow.
Axel.
Hey, Bit Axel, thank you so much. And you know what? You know what's gonna happen.
Let's see it.
Give it to her.
Now that's a MILF. That is a definite swipe right, super light.
Waifu.
Oh,
God
yeah, she
damn.
knows. She knows it doesn't break.
Oh shit! God. Okay. Crimson Law. They're jealous of a cartoon. Not our fault, guys. Like big melons. And that's the thing, though. Like, okay, let's go back into time a little bit with how the 80s movies were showing like shirtless dudes incredibly buff and girls in bikinis like incredibly hot. Like, but that is correct. That is fine. That is the good thing. Here in anime, I mean, yes, there are times where anime over sexualizes their characters, but usually
Yes.
it's for a specific genre. Like, it's not off.
Smart.
Yeah, you're not gonna find that in Spy Family, bro. Like,
Yeah, like
I don't know, man. You seen the? Oh, I won't get into that.
spoiler. Well, I mean, over the top.
no, yeah, like when it's clear
Like
that
if
the
it's supposed to be
intention-
like, what is it, ecchi or ecchi, however we say it,
Mhm.
ECCHI. Like if it's that, you should just know what to expect. And look, I'm a teacher who works with kids. There are certain anime I just stay away from because I'm like, it gives me weird vibes. Like there's one where like the teacher hits on the student. I'm like, absolutely fucking not. I'm not watching that. I don't do no. Absolutely not. And you know what? I'm not canceling anime. I'm just not going to watch that one. I'm not going to support it.
Yeah.
Cool. I know where I stand, and that's fine.
yeah,
It's
there-
like having ratings, like when you go to buy a video game or a movie, and there'll be the rating, like the M rating for mature, right? So you look at it and you're like, okay, hardcore drug use, hardcore sex scenes, hardcore violence, probably not a movie for kids.
Mhm.
Yeah, but and that's the thing, right? Like people have this stupid ass generalization of things. They're saying all anime or all manga does this, therefore it should be canceled. Instead of looking at individual targets, it's like saying, well, every single movie is evil because porn exists. Porn are movies, but not all movies are porns, right?
Yeah.
So the generalization that people have and the misconception that this happens all across the board is, in my opinion, I think a detriment to their audience, because regardless whether I want to or not, Vice has an audience, and I'm pretty sure the Vice audience are eating that shit up insanely quick.
Mm.
Well, they'd have
also-
to be, I mean, for them to stay afloat.
Yeah, Rolando
like-
Ramirez. I think Abigail Shapiro is the same height as Usaki. Oh,
Only one way
How
to
tall
find
is
out.
Uzaki? I'm probably shorter than her. Shoot.
Usaki's
Or the
like
same
super
height.
short.
Yeah, she's like 5 feet, 4'11", something like that.
Oh, 5 feet would be really freaking nice. I wish. I wish. It's all I ever wanted in my life, but I can't have that
Yeah,
Fun
Wants
size.
inches.
without stilettos, man.
yeah.
But no, I think like the big fear. Okay, so on one hand, I kind of get the article. I think it's dramatic, but okay, here's the fear that they have is that children being sexualized in anime and manga is going to create more child pornography or entice people to do real life child, terrible things. That's what I think the fear is. They didn't really state that. But to me, okay, sure. But it's like I feel like they wrote this article directed at like grown men in their bedrooms watching these anime, like getting the feeling like they want to grope some kids. Like that's not the general anime audience.
Mhm.
Grown men who watch anime in their basement, like you said, are watching stuff like Berserk, Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z.
Well,
Like
Vice,
they're not seeking out these little shoujo, shonen, little slice of life like anime. They're not. I mean, some are. That's fine. You do you, boo boo. But that's not what it is. You could not say child pornography across the globe is caused by men watching anime in their grandma's basement. like that's not what it is.
Well, Vice has a history of creating articles like this to kind of generalize a community, so that way everyone goes to read what they have to say in outrage, and that's what generates the clicks. And they have ads on their website and stuff like that. So they would do the same thing to like to cancel practically any YouTuber they didn't like PewDiePie, for example. It was very common with that. And Vice over the last, I don't know, maybe few years has had a habit of doing it. So that's probably why they're doing it with that specific anime, especially if it was about that one. I haven't seen it. I will say I'm not too fond of the idea if like someone is drawing like an actual, like what they perceive to be like an actual 11-year-old getting her back blown out by like a giant dragon or some shit. Like I'm not too crazy about that, right? Like, but if the anime in question is the Uzaki one, it's to my understanding that I believe they're in college. And the whole like bust size thing is it's just whether or not the argument is that, well, it's a child with big tits. That's obviously not the correct take because they're in college. That's one. And two, it's just meant to showcase that the character is small, but she has some level of maturity. Like she is developed in that sense, which is, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, so
it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's common for women, especially like sometimes they develop at a much younger age, or it's also very common for them to develop when, you know, they hit 18, 19, 20, but they also retain their youthful look, which a lot of psychological studies have shown that most men tend to be attracted to a more youthful look. Not youthful in the sense of like, you know, you guys know what I mean, right? Like like weird shit, right? But like youthful in the sense where they're most men tend to be attracted to women that are cute rather than pretty, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it's like an animal instinct where you subconsciously are attracted to a woman that looks like she's healthy to give birth. It's a weird animal instinct to reproduce.
You know, I think there's something. I call it. Hold on. First from Rolando Ramirez. They talked to a convinced pedo who read CP, and he says he had the attraction since he was a teen before he read the stuff. So this is what I come to, like, for example, this anime. I think this is a good example, a very good one actually. Let me pull it up real quick. My Dress Up Darling.
Hey!
So, My Dress Up Darling is a comedy.
Oh, I'm sure people have problems with this, 100%.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and hear me out. If you're looking for it, you'll find it. If you think in only this sexual perverted mind state where it's like everything is perverted, they're perverting the youth, they're doing this. If you look for it, then this series will be 100% just a provocative series.
Oh, absolutely.
Where it's not.
For sure.
It has. Yeah, go for it. Go.
I was going to say, if you go, like, you're right. If you go in looking for something, you will find it. But that makes you the fucking weirdo for looking for it. It's no different to the dumb fucks that said orcs represent black people in D&D. It's like you just exposed yourself as a racist the same way these people are exposing themselves as into children, the sick fucks. They're all fuckheads.
Yeah, because there are times during this anime that there's some provocative stuff, but it's been used for the comedy, for the awkwardness between two characters. So if you're looking at it and you're watching it thinking, oh, it's just a comedy, that's what it is, and you see that it's like, oh yeah, I mean, that shit happens between teenagers, people that go to college. I think these two are like in their last year of high school or whatever the fuck. Like that shit is like common, and you laugh with it and you enjoy it. Then 100%, it's a fucking comedy.
Yeah, like one of the scenes in the very beginning that I think could be the most misconstrued, probably like episode like 4 or 5, when he's getting very close to her. They're in the room together. I don't want to spoil it because it's so good. It's like my favorite episode, actually, where he measures her because she's like, hey, I need to get measured. At first I was like, okay, where's this going to go? It was so funny to me. I loved that episode because look, they're in high school. Like, they're not experienced in this kind of stuff. So like, he's getting all nervous and sweaty, and he's like, I don't want to come off perverted. Like, I don't want to be like all the other guys. And so he's trying to keep his cool, and he just can't keep his cool. And then he finally keeps his cool, and she's like, oh no, I'm not keeping my. It's the cutest scene to me because that's what I see. We were all high schoolers. Did you not date in high school? I mean, maybe you didn't. Maybe you were still in your total weed phase. I don't know. But
Wow,
you know,
Christina.
if you did, or you had a crush, come on. I feel like everyone in high school at least had a crush.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
have your
like in
awkward
high school
moment,
where
yeah.
like, no, absolutely not. We cannot. No, you had a crush, or someone had a crush on you, whether you dated or not, whatever. But it's like what they're doing is not unheard of. This is normal life. So if the people are looking that far into it, you are lonely.
and that's where your mind is. That's exactly where your mind is. Whenever you're looking at this, like for example, this show, it's also an homage to cosplayers. Like one of the main points of this show is to give an homage to cosplayers that do their cosplay by hand. And a lot of cosplays are like insanely great and beautiful, and this show like talks about the fabric and all of that. But if your mind is in the fucking gutter 24/7, you're gonna see as, oh no, they're just making provocative stuff to turn me on. And I just feel like people that write this type of articles or that have that type of take is because that's the only thing that they can see. Like especially in this anime, in My Dress Up Darling, the whenever there's anything provocative that happens because of the awkwardness of the situation or anything, it serves to further a story, it serves to further a plot, it has a purpose. It's not just for the sake of doing it. So it's also a disservice to the fact that they're clearly just watching it with one lens as opposed to for the entire piece. Does that make sense?
Well, it's actually ironic that you said that because a lot of the more provocative cosplays that you see nowadays stem off of and are based off of the same exact anime. And it's interesting because like you'll watch the show because you'll like the show, but then you'll go on Twitter and then you'll see Uzaki or fucking this chick's My Dress Up Darling cosplays, and straight up they try to match to a T what the characters look like, but in the most provocative way possible. And that's what generates the most traction ultimately. So, I mean, I could see where the concern is coming from. For me, what it comes down to is if whether or not a line exists, right? So a line that should not be passed, right? Yes. And should not be crossed. And even if that line is thin, I think the main point is that if we can agree that as long as that line exists and it's not crossed, then we're in the clear. It's okay. And ultimately, I think it also comes down to the concern being that people are being entertained by this form of, interactions between two 16-year-olds, for example, in high school. And both of the characters, usually the female tends to be the highlight of the show because they do, like, for example, they'll make like their thighs like really shiny and rosy red, and the same thing with their tits and shit like that. And to that is ultimately no different than what the male gaze used to be back in high school. So I could, but at the same time, because that's how we used to view girls back in the day. Like you would look at a girl with like a fat ass or something like that, and you would think she's a 10, and then you compare her to what you've seen nowadays, and it's just like, oh, she's like a 4. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I could see the concern, and I don't have a particular issue with the concern itself. But like I said, as long as there's a line, I think as long as that line exists, it's fine. And I think obviously people are just overreacting to generate clicks, just to get people angry, because right now this era that we live in is the angrier you keep people, the better. Like the biggest monetization is how angry, how mad can you get people, right? And how angry can you keep them, and how long can you keep them that way? And that's generally what tends to generate the most revenue nowadays. I based on my limited experience on the internet. So.
Well, no, that's absolutely true. Anger sells. It's called what I call it, hate baiting or whatever.
Yep.
But in regards to you see like a cosplayer, cosplaying as like a younger character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see Paris Hilton as Sailor Moon this year?
Oh my!
I sure
fucking
did.
God.
Holy
fucking
moly.
God,
It was
dude.
good.
Hey.
But you know what?
She
Lethal?
spent money on that, man.
You know what, Lethal?
Money.
Like
Yeah.
the girls that cosplay as like young, like these girls would be like 29, 30, whatever, right? 25. They'll cosplay as a 16-year-old high school character, but they look good doing it, right? So it's like, and that's essentially what they're trying to achieve. They're taking the visual aesthetic positives of an anime or of a genre of entertainment, and then they're monetizing it because they also look good in said outfit, right? In said cosplay. So I don't really see the problem with it. It just, again, it just comes down to if it gets too extreme, if it starts to like really get into a territory where like, really weird shit that obviously exists out there, then sure. But
I think
if
everyone
that's
will
not
agree
the case, then it's fine.
I think everyone will agree there's a line.
Yeah, there's a line that you.
And I
just
think 9
shouldn't
out of 10
cross.
times you don't even need to say what it is because everyone just knows what that line is.
No, it's
But,
true. But the
like
problem
you
is
said,
that they
majority of these-
generalize. Yeah, they
I'm
generalize
with
it,
you.
and then they act as if the line doesn't exist. And then that's what I'm saying. For the sake of the panel, I think it's important just to mention that line does exist, and we're all very aware that it does exist. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, I'm with you, but
Yeah.
to your point, like 99.9% of the time, you would see like someone that's like cosplaying as like okay, we'll just use Sailor Moon because she is underage, right? Or no, a common one you'll see is Asuka from Neon
Mhm.
Genesis.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
huh?
Even like
Yeah.
or even like from games too, like Genshin Impact is very popular in the cosplay community
Genshin
right
Impact.
now. Yeah,
Yep.
it's very
Mhm.
popular in cosplay right now, and I imagine a lot of the girls there, some of them are of age and some of them are quite young. So
Well, I guess it comes
Um,
down to the cosplayer itself. Like if it's a woman of legal age just dressing as a character that isn't, then I don't see the problem as long as it's not way exploited. But 99.9% of the time, it's just a pose.
Yeah.
Now, here's I have a question for you guys in the panel, and also for you guys in the chat. Let's see what happens when something to an underage character is actually like it's very graphic. It does show it, but they don't do it with the intent of being of desire, of sexual desire. The anime in question here is Elfen Light or Elfen Lied.
Never seen that one.
Mm-mm.
Well, in this anime, which is a very dark, very heavy anime, very, 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 very heavy, there's a scene where there's a like a 9 or 11-year-old girl who has a lot of walls, personality walls, and she breaks down with another character because, spoiler alert, she gets molested by her stepfather, and they show the scene is graphic, but they don't show like the parts, but you can see the act
that's happening, right? Yeah.
and you see the girl crying in terror, and you see the pain and destruction that it caused further down the line of this character. And I mean, they're showing something clearly, but not with the intent of highlighting how fucking terrible it is. But people have grabbed that scene and said, see what they're doing? They're showing stuff. They're trying to provoke things. And dude, it's literally heartbreaking. They're not putting it into a good light. But that shit happens.
Mhm.
What about in Black Lagoon, one of my personal favorites, the flashback to Revy as a kid being raped by a cop? That's not cool.
Dang.
That's pretty fucking brutal and dark, and it shows you why she's very hard and doesn't
Yeah.
trust anyone.
Yeah, the obvious intent there seems to be that the character has been through some shit. So it's not intended for you to visually say, yeah, you teach that 11-year-old who's boss. Yeah. Like it's not like that. Like you're grounded. Like, it's not like that. It's obviously meant to convey that the character has actually been through some tribulations, and it's to allow you to kind of not. I don't want to. I guess for some people, relate in the worst case scenario, but not. I don't want to use relate as an example, but it's just to establish a connection between the viewer and the character. That the character is not this way just because it was mentioned that she was molested or she was raped, whatever the fuck, right? But it's just more so, again, just to establish that visual connection to say, wow, she really has been through some shit. Because hearing about it and then seeing in detail, not in detail, but seeing it to some degree, especially like in the form of anime, I would argue visually seeing it would add more to the impact of that moment, right? So it's obviously not meant for entertainment, though it is essential entertainment. You're not being entertained by the fact that she was raped, whatever the fuck, but it's just a matter of, again, establishing that connection between reader, viewer, and character, fictional character. So
it can also be done to, like, I just saw that comment that you just highlighted, which mentioned Berserk.
Yeah.
Berserk has a lot of that.
Yeah.
Right. The main character was raped as a kid. All right.
Mhm.
And that, like Emo said, is not done for like entertainment factor. That's to show you that this is a dark, brutal, fucked up world that we're in.
It reminds me.
Griffith did nothing wrong.
I think also it comes to the point that people, at least here, I think in the West, are afraid to like face some shit, like face someone being hot, afraid of someone going through shit, afraid of everything. Like, we want to cozy everything up and have everyone go through this rose-colored glasses and live this unpainful life that whenever something does show up as provocative or taboo, in this case we're talking about sex, right? But what if it's depression or mental health or like families being assholes to other family members or whatever the fuck? Like, I feel like that's what art always has done, right? Move. Like,
Have you ever
spark the
actually
fuck-
looked at a Da Vinci painting?
the Da
They're
Vinci?
fucked up.
No, what?
Really? Hold on. I'll pull one up.
oh yeah, characters are always
Um,
naked in those shit in that shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's naked in that bitch. Like,
Can you imagine? Like,
True.
Well,
back
don't they
in-
have small peepees too?
there you
Yeah,
go.
very small
Yeah.
peepees, yes.
Yeah, that's why no one's
Perfect
complaining.
censorship.
People, makes
You had
sense.
SpongeBob.
Cancel
You had SpongeBob
the
creating the
art.
sculpture within. Remember that episode? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cancel Animal Crossing. They put one of those sculptures in Animal Crossing cancel with a PP in it, and that is a game for kids. Cancel Animal Crossing next.
Yeah.
Rolando Ramirez, Guts being attacked by Donovan in Berserk, a very horrible scene, but it's part of his character development.
Mm.
Yep.
And also, we have from Alfarius Omegon, Donovan bought Guts to plunder his booty. Senaximus, thank you so much for the 20 buckaroos.
Thank you.
Really enjoying your discussion from work. Also, love how the author of that article seems have no issue working with Vice, who were eager to defend the cuties movie. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Mhm.
don't. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Mhm.
Crimson Law. Berserk is one of my favorite manga. There is a lot of dark and heavy stuff, like the eclipse, but it's all to demonstrate the depravity of those performing acts. Human nature is horrid.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, how can you set a dark, like Crimson's 100% right? How can you sell your story as being like a dark, twisted fantasy where everyone's just horrible if you never actually see anything horrible happen?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's, I
Yeah.
mean, most anime are willing to go that extra mile, right? So, like,
Yeah.
again, you don't like the scene that you guys, like Ivan brought up with the stepfather raping and
Mm.
the elephant, whatever the fuck, whatever,
Elfen
I don't
lead.
know. There you go. You don't look at the scene and say the stepfather's my favorite character now. Like, you don't say that, like, I mean, unless you're trolling, but I'm saying in most general cases, you're like, I hate that guy. Like, oh my God, I want to see this bitch succeed. I want to see this character succeed, and I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple, I think.
And dude, and okay, let's put it to comparison. Let's put into comparison. Fucking let me think of okay. This is a very old anime, very, very old, from like way back in the day. but has been known for its controversy because it's like clearly this is someone that goes in elementary school. Clearly they're sexualizing the shit out of her. And the anime is Sakura Card Captor.
Oh my god.
Oh
Sakura
yeah,
Card Captor.
I remember that growing up. I never watched it though. It wasn't. I thought it was like a fake Yu-Gi-Oh thing or something like that.
Well, if you watched it in the English dub, then you're definitely missing out because they butchered like 60% of the story to avoid touching on romantic subjects because she falls in love with the best friend of his older brother and then
Yeah.
falls in love with another guy, but whatever the fuck. The point is that in the series she just battles magical shit, and they also show her battling in different outfits, but the outfits are of this endeavor, you would say, like very girly
Schoolgirl,
looking,
whatever.
very very princess, whatever. And to be honest with you, if you're looking for it again, if your mind is in the fucking gutter, then yes, you will see it. Right now, probably this image to one of those perverted motherfuckers is probably tingling their spidey senses right now. Like, oh my god, yes, but that is not the intent. That is clearly not the intent of this fucking thing. Now, Vice probably right now is looking at this and saying, see, that is sexualization of children, because they're probably looking for it, right? But how the fuck do you defend cuties when it's clearly meant for that purpose? I don't know. Like, if they actually defended cuties,
Like-
that's a different conversation.
Mhm.
They're a bunch of dumb fucks.
What Lethal said.
But yes, exactly what Lethal said. But yeah, this anime is from
Yeah, like you see that we see what she's wearing, that little dress, pink dress, whatever.
Mhm.
If she had tits, you would see them, right? So, but you know, it's if she was stacked to high heaven, you would see her boobs because those dresses are meant. If you are developed, it shows, and if you're not, then it doesn't, right? Like it. I mean,
Mhm.
that's just how it is. But she's not, and I don't think it's meant to convey that.
Mhm.
But I 100% understand what you're saying because they're still dressing in things that if they were developed would still technically be revealing to some degree simply because of the fact that they are developed.
Well,
So, you know,
any fucking clothing at that point.
yeah, of
Like,
course.
we know that Japan has this style.
Yeah.
They are fans of this style. They do have their sense of fashion. That's their fucking culture, and they're not, like, in a lot of cases they're not looking at it like, oh yeah, oh my god, because that's their fucking culture, right?
Yeah, look at American culture. What do our superheroes and girls with superpowers wear? Bodysuits, skin tight bodysuits. There may or may not be cutouts, but what do they wear? Something that shows every curve of their body.
Mhm.
No one's whining about that.
Well.
Well, okay.
Well,
I can't. You're.
Hang on a minute.
Wait
hang
a
on
minute.
A minute.
They are.
Today,
It's the
they're-
same
yeah.
people that are whining about this.
Mhm.
I'm
100%.
like,
It's usually fat people too. Like they're
and they're
usually
not
Yeah,
trying to
that's true.
cancel it. They're not
usually-
like, oh, it must be promoting. Did it?
they're usually
really?
fat and never shave and just like dirty and
Yeah,
Fucking-
grotty.
Why
Over
would you
here, we call them
insult Ivan
groks.
like that, Emish? Jeez.
well, sorry, what?
He shaves on the weekends.
Yeah, she went straight for your throat out of nowhere, dude.
We do that to each other, right,
Yeah, I
Ivan?
mean,
Wait, what?
Never mind.
Nothing.
I feel like I just missed
she just said you have blue hair, dude. She-
He does. He has a
basically
wig.
said that.
You know it. You
I
wear
mean,
it sometimes.
I've seen it.
well,
Krista.
Go
Don't
get
don't be talking shit when you're a VTuber.
Go
Like-
get it.
yeah, I was gonna ask. So I was gonna ask, and
Oh
I couldn't
gosh.
figure out when was the best time to ask. Right when I joined the chat, I saw some VTube action happen. Oh my god, bro!
Yeah.
And okay,
Don't act like you never seen this before, Emish. I know
No,
what
I
you
haven't.
watch.
I've seen.
I know
it.
what you
No, I
watch.
haven't. I haven't. That's new to me. That's really
Well-
new to me.
Aquarius, have y'all talked about that Vice hit piece yet? Keep in mind they loved Cuties, Desmond the Amazing, and Desmond the Amazing, and our particular owned by
Oh.
competitor Disney. Interesting. Yeah, that's actually what we've been talking about for the past like 40 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, there it
Um,
is in chat. Ivan with blue hair. See, I'm not lying.
Just
I just opened it. Oh yeah, sorry. My bad.
Wait, where is it? I don't see nothing.
well, Yeah, in the comments.
Fucking VTubers, man. There's like 3 good ones.
Okay.
At least
Yeah,
I
I'm
show
on-
my face though. Most of them don't.
I
What do you
mean,
mean? No
What?
one does.
Well, most of them. There's been face reveals. We won't get into that, but maybe another day.
Other thing though, and this is the anime that I
Okay.
want to close. That I want to close the stream with, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but this is an anime that uses the sexual theme in a comedic way, and their purpose is to be comedic about it, not to be sexual about it. They use sex in a comedic way.
Redo it,
it's
Dylan.
funny. It's inherently funny. I can't have a conversation with any of my friends without mentioning my dick. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. like
If you're a dude, yes.
yeah, well, yeah. If you're a guy, dude, you're just my dick. Yeah, these nuts in your mouth, bitch. Like like shit like that. Like it's just funny. Like I kind of went off the rails there, but I mean, it is what it is. It's the truth, man.
Dude, yeah. Like for example, if you've seen any vlog where I'm with Cogman, god damn, like if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, yeah, Ivan is incredibly percent gay. Like,
Oh my
and
gosh. What a way to just out him without even outing him.
Oh, this Konosuba thing.
Konosuba.
Okay. Yeah.
Konosuba is
I think Princess Reconnect, whatever that shit is, too. That one, or Redive. I forgot the name of it. It's very similar. Has a very similar aesthetic.
and this and there's a lot of animes like this, like Konosuba, that you have characters that are attractive.
There
Poop
you
jiggle.
go. You got some jiggle there. There you go.
Like for example, this one. This is the best example. She is a masochist. So every time she goes into battle, she just wants to be like punched and tell how much is a piece of shit warrior she is, and
Oh
she
my
gets
God.
turned on by it, but
Well, there
in
you
the
go.
most hilarious way. They're using it for their comedic effect. Their
I love it.
purpose is to make you laugh. And again, like, can we pretend that this shit does like exist in the world? Like, we're in the United States. We're not in like the Middle East where you're like covering everything but your eyes. Like, come on, like for once, at least have fun. I guess the point of this fucking stream at the end of the day is like, dude, can you just like have fun with something?
No, these people can't. These people are incapable of having fun. And because they're incapable of having fun, they feel like you should not have fun. These are sad, miserable people that want to project their miserable lives onto others that are actually having fun. And it's perfectly okay to mock, shame, and bully these people.
It's kind of like in RPGs and MMORPGs where, like, if you're a female character, the ancient tier armor, the highest end gear, the most broken gear is like a thong.
Yeah. It's like Urza in Fairy Tale. Like her best armor is when she like has no armor on. Like,
Yeah, like that's it's like the less she has, the more broken they become. Like that's the irony, and it's just an aesthetic, really. I mean, she's mostly covered up, but you can see like the shape of her chest, for example, right? They make sure to do that, but then you have some. I mean, yeah, it doesn't like ultimately the people still find themselves attracted to, for lack of a better word, or gravitating toward the same character strictly because of how the character is. If I was in a world where I was hacking off goblin heads left and right, I'd have to have some kind of crazy characteristic persona trait in me that would make it worthwhile, that would allow me to survive in said area. So if I was a masochist or whatever, and I liked being stepped on by like giant Amazon goblin bitches, then I mean, that's what keeps me alive in the fucking show. Then it is what it is. I mean, and I'm purposely exaggerating what I'm saying, but it's what they do in anime for a plethora of reasons. But I imagine that is one of the reasons, because the characters will be covered up. They're just in ironclad armor, big ass sword, and you're just like, that bitch is, let's go. Like, she's about it. You know what I mean? And then you find out that there's other things about the character other than her visual appearance that makes her enjoyable, and people want to see more of her. So it's like Saber, like, well, Fate Fate might be a good example for this panel because it's my understanding.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
a big
dude,
Fate fan,
yes.
but I did not know that it originated as like this like erotic
Yes.
manga kind of thing.
Yeah,
It was like a visual novel.
And I did not know
hentai
that.
visual novel.
Yeah, and I did not know that because I love the movies. I like the main like Fate Stay Night, Fate, like those the main stuff like Heaven's Feel and Apocrypha was okay too. But yeah, there's Saber. Like you have Artoria Pendragon. She's covered up from head to toe, and her alter version is less covered up, but she's still covered up. She's still very modest, and she portrays herself to be a very modest and pure character. But then you have other characters that are purposely very provocative, and that's also a part of their persona. And it's also part of like how they choose to kind of convey the character and give them meaning. A good example that comes off the top of my head from the Fate stuff, I think it was from Fate Apocrypha. I don't know if you guys have seen it. So Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper she's portrayed like young. She acts very young. But here's the interesting thing though. She has two forms, right? So she has her lolly form, but then she has like her fucking 5, 6, 7-year-old form where she's like a fucking, like a little kid, like an actual kid. So I don't know if Ivan, you could actually put it up right now. You could maybe Google search Jack the Ripper Fate, and you get like the most not like monetizable friendly version of her. There's one with her like where she has like a cloak on because she's an assassin type class servant. But then her general stuff is she's wearing a thong. That's her thing. It's a thong with like leggings and a top piece, and that's it. And she has like 2 assassin blades, and she literally just kills you. She's an assassin. But that's portrayed to be her older form, even though at heart and at soul she's actually a child. But that's like her older form. That might be like the best example for the case for the sake of the panel. But it just comes down to whether or not there's a line, and if that line exists. If it's crossed, then sure, it's fine to be concerned. But there she is.
What Fate series is this?
Apocrypha. It's like a separate.
Yeah.
It's not tied to like Unlimited Blade Works or Stay Night or anything like that. It's just a separate thing. Yeah.
That's why I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's really good. The animation and the fights are really top tier. The closing fight is good. Highly recommend you guys check it out.
Well, all Fate fights are sick.
Yeah,
Fate has like some of the best fights in all.
And then Heaven's Feel, the movie, I think part 2.
I didn't even see that yet.
So it's all out. You should go check it out. But in part 2, I believe the chick with the purple, I keep forgetting her name. Fuck.
I know her name.
There's a scene in there where she's thinking about Emiya, and she's like playing with herself, and like they show it, but they don't show her like it's like not like a hentai scene, but like there is a scene where she's like thinking of him, and she's like pleasuring herself to him. So and then her actual backstory is very tragic in the sense where she was raped, molested by her family. Her family did experiments on her.
Yeah, Sakura.
Yeah, and she has a very, very nasty upbringing, and it's explained in detail enough to the point where it hits the point home. So that's a series that probably doesn't get the same flack. At least it's not as I don't see it as much, but there are elements of darkness in there for sure, and I think it does a good job at that though. So again, I don't know. I just if the line is there, then I don't see the problem. Obviously, these guys are clickbaiting and just trying to get people angry for whatever. Devilman Crybabies is another one with a lot of scenes. Someone mentioned it in chat. There's a lot of sex in that one. A lot of but that's the point. The point is to show like the devil's in people, right? So that's
another one that probably the anime I watched 5 minutes of and went, hell no, not ever watching this because I know what the purpose is and I don't like it. It's not for me. Is High School DxD. Literally got recommended on one of my first anime pages I went on. They're like,
Shorty, you would love High School DxD.
Yeah, that's what they told me too. And I was like, all right, let's boot it up. And I see titties all over the place. And I'm like, no, what the fuck? There's nothing to this. It's just like, big titty demon bitches, bro.
Right. I'm like, the devil's in here. They're from hell. And it's a high school boy. But to me, I'm like, those are high school girls. And so I was like, this is not for me. But it's just not for me. And the girls are demons. They're not in high school. The boy is, but the rest of them are not. So I'm like, this is aimed at a high school boy. It's for a purpose.
Yeah.
Don't watch in the family room.
Me. And don't watch it around anybody. Not me anyway. Not for me. So, but am I sitting here whining? No, I'm just not going to watch it. And if you do, I know what you're about. Okay.
Yeah.
No judgment. You do you, boo boo. Like, okay.
Dude,
I'd watch that and then the same night watch My Dress Up Darling. So
look, I want to bring out the two different animes that you can just look at the attire of the main protagonist and you can be like, okay, I want you to tell me which one is the perverted anime. All right.
Oh my gosh, what?
So hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Here it is.
Krista's an expert on perverted.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What does that
Krista
even
is like,
mean?
Oh, we
Does
saw
it-
that chat earlier.
so
What?
You're a VTuber.
Yeah,
You
you're
know
a
all about
you're a
porn.
YouTuber, like
It's
you have
the
no
V2
excuse.
That's the VTuber effect. Yep.
What does it
So-
even mean?
This is
Freaking Kaijo, man.
the outfit of the main character in this anime.
Oh, it's like summertime rendering.
This is the outfit of this girl in this anime. Which anime is the pervy one?
Well, I
Krista?
already know, so I'm just not gonna say anything.
The other one.
Nah,
Keijo.
it is. I was gonna say Love After World Domination. That screams literally you could have your way with whoever you want at that point. Yeah.
Oh
it
my
does.
fucking god! If I tell you this is one of the most decent anime I've ever seen, like I shit you not. First off, thank you for BS Warren. Oh, if you guys thought High School DxD was wild, look up the manga.
I'm good, man. No
Gaigan.
thanks.
Oh, thanks.
But like Love After World Domination is this incredibly innocent, cute story of technically what would happen if the Red Ranger fell in love with Rita Repulsa. Her outfit is very provocative, yes, but they actually never even talk about her body or anything. And whenever he talks to her, it's like, you're just very beautiful. And like you can tell that the guy's just looking at her soul. Yes, she's incredibly like provocative in this image, but
She's
it's
a
not
villain.
but she's
You
the
know.
villain. And all of the villains have like super over exaggerated outfits for the sake of comedy and everything. But this is such an innocent series, such an innocent and very, very, very funny. Kaiju, in the other fucking hand, Keijo, is this story of, well, you're in a platform in a pool and you have to knock your opponent out of it using
Your butt.
your butt.
Booty.
It's literally
Yeah,
Booty
you literally
wars.
just fight with your with
Butt
with your ass.
battles.
Like,
Kaguya-sama Booty Wars.
it is so insanely perverted. Like it is for that purpose. So if you are looking through it with your fucking mind in the gutter all the time, both of them are gonna be super pervy, and you're gonna put them in the same light. But the reality is, it's not. So, anyways,
There's a certain anime I remember. I just looked it up. I'm gonna put it in the private chat, but this was banned, I think, everywhere. For being very controversial. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
redo of Healer. No, just-
No,
Yeah, that's the one.
Bible Black. Krista, what the fuck are you watching?
I don't
Telling
know.
ya,
I didn't watch
VTubers.
this. I saw it.
I'm Google
This
imaging
is
it, and I see
old.
rats eating like bodies and shit.
Oh, this
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
dope.
This looks fucking dark. God
Oh,
damn.
this looks great. Is this a
There's,
movie or a
like,
show?
Rape in it and sexual abuse. It's awful.
I
Krista,
see. All right, so there's a picture, of this chick. Her head is like extending. It's like a snake, but then she has a penis too, and she's like strangling people with like her dick or some shit. Dude. This is crazy.
Yeah, this pulled up. Gosh, it was like on a Google search because I was looking for like recommended animes, and then there was like, when you see articles that
This
say,
is on your recommended?
no, I'm not done talking. When you see an article next, because I think it was on Reddit where it says like animes that are banned in certain
Yeah.
countries, and so I clicked it and I saw that this one was one of them. And so since we're on the subject, I brought it up.
Gotcha.
VTubers.
Yeah, look at our
I'm just gonna
taste.
stop being
Whenever
a VTuber.
whenever
Thanks,
we
guys.
recommend or talk
No,
about
stop.
anime,
Keep doing your thing. Get it.
Yeah. You get that bread, girl. You do whatever you have to do, even if it's going on the depths of hell of the internet. But goddamn. So, anyways, I think the closing arguments for this stream, I would like to start with Miss Krista. What is your closing thought on today's conversation?
I'm gonna pray for you all.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
it. What about you, Miss Christina?
Agree with Krista. No, I mean, I think we all know that article is just coming from a place of pure, just I don't, idiocracy, hatred, like being just for the sake of being controversial. Honestly,
Mm-hmm. What about you, Lethal? What are you
They're
closing?
dumb fucks. I think they're all dumb fucks.
love it.
Emosh, closing arguments.
I mean, the world is on fire. There's probably a lot more better things to be concerned about than animes that aren't even offensive when shows like 16 and Pregnant used to exist.
Oh
Mhm.
shit, that's right.
Amen,
You
bro.
know, maybe get priorities in check a little bit and then have a nice day. So,
Well, yep, that was a good chat. Thank you again for everyone that showed up. Wait, what? Jojo Tsubaki, Justin Wang did a deep dive on it. Well, there you go. now we know.
and we haven't heard
Um,
from him since.
Now, and granted, taking devil's advocate, there's anime out there that their intention is exactly to do that, but it's way too far in between, honestly, when it comes to that type of stuff. Brandon, the anime guy. Wait, what? Who in the hell calling for anime to be banned? Anime for life. Well, you kind of missed the last hour and 15 minutes, but you can
Welcome.
rewatch it. Now, just to close off again, I want to say thank you, Miss Christina, because thanks to her, we are doing a Pokemon tournament. If you didn't know, we are playing, all of us in our respective social medias. We're doing gameplays, or we will be doing gameplay soon of Pokemon either Scarlet or Violet. For example, I am playing Pokemon Violet.
Loser.
Shut the fuck up. Christina is playing Scarlet. Krista is playing, I think, Scarlet too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Megan is playing Violet. Lethal will be playing which one?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played Pokemon since Emerald, and I
Mm.
don't know which one I just got, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to win.
Okay, sounds good.
I
And-
got Scarlet.
Scarlet. Okay, gotcha. And Emma, she's playing both, I guess, because
No,
he's
I
a
have
fucking G.
Scarlet. I have
Scarlet.
Yeah, I have Scarlet.
All right. So you guys can watch us go through the journey and eventually get to our teams. We will battle each other and we will have a tournament. It's going to be so nice. And then if everything goes correctly, everything goes right, and we feel like this is something worth doing, we will invite you guys to have a Weeps and Waifus community Pokemon tournament where you can battle us as well. So on that note, please subscribe to Miss Christina. Miss Christina, where are you on your subscriber count right now?
I am nearing 400. I think I need like 15 more followers.
You know, this whole time I didn't know that Christina was Shorty Sensei. I just
I am the same person. Yeah, I need 15 more subscribers to reach 400.
All right, guys, right fucking now, if you're watching this stream, go put the link of Christina. I'm gonna put it too.
He just
yeah,
did.
it's been
Mods
there.
are dropping it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
Thanks,
didn't know
mods.
that Christina was that. I just
Yeah. My full
all
name's
good,
not
man.
Christina.
no.
Growing up, people didn't know
I
Christina
didn't-
and Shorty were the same person anyway. It's cool. You're
Thanks for
not the
the
only
heads
one.
up. Thanks for the heads up, Krista.
We need to get you to 400, like right
Let's
now,
go.
guys.
Stop it, Brian. Ban him. Ban
What-
Brian. No.
Well,
Why?
she's 15 away,
No.
right? So surely 15 people can
Yeah,
Brian?
like come on, 15 of you can
like
can
it's just-
subscribe right now
15,
and get
like-
Miss Christina to 400, because at the end of the day, she's the one that started this Pokemon tournament thing, so she deserves the praise, and she is doing amazing live streams, by the way. Also, just to close it off, Lethal, where can people find you?
I'm mostly on Tubes and on Twitch. I'm live tonight for a gaming podcast that I do, so that should be fun.
Nice.
And yeah, I can't believe I'm gone back. Krista, of all people, brought me back to Pokemon.
There you go.
We were talking about it. Yeah, you're welcome.
I hope you finished the game. It's a good game. It's a really good game.
I'm getting
big
into
role.
it. I played it all day today.
10-inch gaming.
That's my gaming team. We are the greatest gaming team on the planet.
10-inch
10-inch gaming. 10-inch gaming.
Oh
We're
my
better
God.
than FaZe. We're better than Optic. We're better than E
Collectively-
United. We're better than all
collectively
those
10
fucking
inches,
shit
yeah.
cunts.
Collectively 10 inches, yeah, as a
10-inch
unit.
gaming.
Collectively.
As a unit, yeah.
Collectively.
You want to find out?
Sure, dude. Let it rip, dude. I told you, bro. I'm about that life, man. Let's get it.
I want to see that fight.
Yeah, I'll be down for that. Imosh, where can people find you?
Dude, just Twitter, YouTube, whenever I feel like uploading. That's about it, really.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about that.
Miss Krista, where can people find you?
I've mostly been gaming on Twitch, so at Chris Nova on Twitch. And follow me on Twitter because Twitter's fun nowadays.
Yeah, fucking Twitter is a mess right now. It's
Such
interesting,
a trash fire. I love it.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah, that's just going to
Um,
war with Apple now. Like, fuck's.
dude. Yeah.
I'm buying a new phone from Elon.
Oh, you're gonna leave your precious iPhone?
Yeah. I already have an Android sitting right next to me, so
It's
I can
just sitting
switch.
there, though. It's just not doing anything.
I open it sometimes because it's
Yeah,
cool.
it doesn't count.
Sorry, Krista, you have an iPhone.
Yeah. I have
Oh, that
both.
explains the whole V2 thing.
Well, okay, so then explain Elon having an iPhone.
He's fucked in the head too.
He's
Yeah.
probably a VTuber.
He owns
Probably
Twitter.
is.
There you go. He owns Twitter. He
Could you
bought Twitter.
imagine?
Mm.
He bought Twitter from what it was. So.
Guys, we're 3 people away from 400.
Oh my God.
I
that was
subscribe
fast.
from G&G Live, so
Good.
well,
Yeah, I subbed
Oh
from.
my God. That's so nice of you guys. Wow.
So yeah,
Well,
we're 3 people away. Come on, guys.
speaking of which, is it
people.
okay if I shout out something, Ivan? Speaking of G&G.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
What is it?
every Wednesday,
So
Oh
yeah,
my.
I was like talking and I didn't even
Yeah,
know.
that was. I thought I got kicked for a second. Like,
I was like talking. Okay. Every Wednesday, the G&G girls go live. Usually between the time we're gonna aim for 8 or 9 starting. So we're gonna do panels, playing video games. So yeah, check us out on Geeks Gamers Live with the girls.
400
There
baby.
we go.
Aw,
400 baby.
thanks, guys.
You guys are amazing.
401.
Thank you
Too
so much, you guys.
kind. Promise the content's gonna get better. I'm still a noob with a full-time job that's more like 2 full-time jobs. So
You gotta get on Twitch.
I hate Twitch. I don't know anything about it.
I'll teach you.
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I need to.
Well,
to
I
get on
heard
that
all of the
Twitch.
Twitch streamers were going to YouTube anyway, or that like it was better to just be
It's
on
good
YouTube
to have
and
both.
Twitch.
But yeah, I'll get with you about it.
Yeah, I'd love to learn the ways.
Well, guys,
Fuck, I put my
thank
can to
you.
it. I'm sorry.
What the fuck? Thank you so much again for joining. This was a very good conversation. And remember, we are actually not going to have a body pillow talk this Thursday.
I wonder why.
We will have possibly body pillow talk, but like later in the night, or it might be changed for the weekend to supplement something else. But I'm just gonna say some shit's going down Thursday, and trust me, you want to keep your little radars on because shit's going down. Also, there will be no drumming live stream this Sunday
Oh.
because some other shit's going down. And oh my god, will it go down? But that's all I can say for now. Just stay tuned. I will be doing most likely tomorrow live streaming my gameplay of Pokemon Violet. Miss Christina will update you on her channel. Lethal will shout out to the wins, and Emma's the same, and Krista the same. She's actually doing it on Twitch. But with that said, thank you so much again for joining. Thank you everyone that commented. Thank you everyone that donated. Thank you everyone that lurked Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All you
Thanks,
lurkers.
everyone. It was awesome.
And we will talk to you later.
Bye.
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 Give it to her.